everybody. Thanks so much for being here for our last of the 3 weeks of TMM movement. I have loved spending this time with you, and I'm glad that you're here today. So we're going to start, just like last week, in a comfortable seat for a few breaths, just to mindfully transition to this time, this space together. So whatever seat is comfortable for you. Maybe close your eyes. Set aside whatever you were doing before this and try not to think about what you might need to do after this. Let yourself focus on here, now, this time that you've set aside. We'll take a few breaths together. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Slowly transition to a tabletop position. Again, just like the past few weeks, your body's a whole bunch of right angles. Hips above knees, shoulders above wrists, and we'll go through a few rounds of cat and cow. So inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, arch your spine, chin to chest. Go through a few more rounds just with your breath at your pace. Excuse me. Maybe add some extra side movements if that feels good. On your next exhale, come back to a neutral spine, and we'll thread the needle. So right arm up to the sky with an inhale. Reach through under your left armpit with an exhale. Inhale, arm to the sky. Exhale, reach through. A couple more with your own breath. And on your next exhale, lay your arm down. Rest your head on the mat. Maybe extend your left arm out in front of you and maybe your left leg behind you. Take a few breaths here. Bring your hand back near your face, bring your leg back, and inhale, arm to the sky, and return to the mat. Same thing on the other side. So inhale, left arm to the sky, exhale, reach through. Inhale, arm to the sky, exhale, reach through. A few more with your own breath. On your next exhale, rest your left arm, rest your head. Maybe extend your right arm out in front of you. Maybe extend your right leg behind you, and we'll stay here for a few breaths. Bring your hand back, your leg back, and inhale your arm up to the sky and back down. Slowly tuck your toes up into downward facing dog. Gently pedal out your feet. And then we'll slowly walk our feet up to meet our hands. Gently rise up to standing, and we'll extend all the way into a palm tree. Maybe up onto your tippy toes, reach toward the ceiling. And exhale all the way back down into a forward bend. One more palm tree. Inhale up. And arms down by your side. We're going to move into some sun salutations again, just like last week. Inhale. Exhale, forward bend. Right leg back, low lunge. Left leg meets it. Knees, chest, chin to the ground. Low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg back, low lunge. Left leg meets it at the top. All the way up. Now the other side. Forward bend. Left leg back, low lunge. Right leg meets it. Knees, chest, chin. Low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg back to the top, low lunge. Right foot meets the left. And inhale, back up. Now we'll do a few more of these at your own pace. And if it's in your practice, you can do a high lunge to plank, to upward dog, or you can keep doing knees, chest, chin. Each movement should correspond to an inhale or an exhale. And whatever pace you are moving and breathing is the right pace. One more round on both sides. And we will meet in a child's pose. So after your last downward facing dog, drop your knees, drop your butt to your heels, rest your forehead on the mat, stretch your arms out in front of you or bring them alongside your legs. And we'll rest here for a few breaths. Maybe roll your forehead back and forth. Come back to downward facing dog and back to the top of the mat. Full palm tree and arms by your side. So hopefully you're feeling warm. We are going to add on to the flow sequence, just like last week, but the additions will be a little different. So arms up, exhale, forward bend. Right leg back to a high crescent lunge. And then drop your back heel, so your foot is at a 45-degree angle for warrior one. Now straighten your left leg, don't lock your knee. And then slowly keeping a flat back, bend forward for pyramid. And this is where, if you have a yoga block, this is where it might come in handy. You can put it on either side of your foot. If you're up for it, you can add a twist here. Put your block on the inside of your foot, right hand on the ground or on your block. Then take your left arm to the sky, gaze follows it. Bring your left arm back down, move your block out of the way, slowly come back up to standing, return to a high crescent lunge. Arms to the mat, and go through a flow. We'll meet back at the top. All right, exhale, forward bend. Now for the left side. Left leg back into a high crescent lunge. Hold for a few breaths here. Now drop that left heel. Foot is at a 45-degree angle. Your hips should be facing as straightforward as possible for a warrior one. Straighten that right leg. Bend forward, keeping a flat back. Again, maybe you use your yoga block. Maybe you add that twist, reaching the right arm to the sky. Bring your arm back down. If you raised it, move the block out of the way. Slowly come back up to standing. Return to that high crescent lunge. And cartwheel down to the mat. Do a flow. Again, we'll meet at the top. All right. Exhale, forward bend. We're going to do something different this time. Right leg back to a high crescent lunge. And then drop your heel. Rotate your left heel facing so that both your feet are parallel with the short edge of your mat. I'm going to flip around so I'm facing you. We're going to do a wide leg fold. So gently fold to the center, keeping a flat back. Drop your hands wherever it's comfortable. Your block might be handy here too. Remember to breathe. We're going to add a twist here. So bring your left hand directly under your face on the ground, and then twist your gaze and your right arm up towards the sky, keeping your hips level. So try not to move your hips at all. Just twist from your shoulders. Exhale back down. Opposite side, so right hand directly under your face and twist up to the left. Exhale back down. Gently come back up to center. Rotate back to the front to a crescent lunge. Cartwheel your arms down and go through a flow. We'll meet at the top. All right, onto the other side. Left leg back in a crescent lunge. Back crescent lunge. Drop that back heel. Bring the right heel around, right foot around to meet it. And this time we're going to do our side lunges from this week. So whatever width stance is comfortable for you is great. The idea is that when you move your hips just a little bit, you should feel it. So you might need to adjust your stance once we start moving, but just gently tilt your hips to the right. So see, you can barely see how much I'm moving. And I can feel it all along my inner left thigh. So we'll hold it here for just a couple seconds. And then switch to the other side. So now you should be feeling it all along your right inner thigh. Remember to breathe. Now go back to the right side, and this time we're going to add in a bit of a side stretch. So bring your arms up above your head, grab your right wrist with your left fingertips, and gently bend your body to the left. So now you're probably feeling it in both inner thighs and also along your right side body. So remember to breathe. Come back to center, switch your grip. So grab your left arm or your left wrist with your right fingertips. Tilt your hips to the left. And pull your torso over to the right. So now you should feel it all along your left side body. And in your hips, your groin. All right, come back to center. Arms down on your hips. And bring your heels in so that your toes are pointing towards the corners of your mat. And bend your knees a little bit in a goddess pose. We're going to bring our arms up into that cactus or goalpost formation. And just hold here for a couple of breaths. It might feel good to kind of move your arms up and down. Open up the chest, stretch out your shoulders, upper back. Remember to breathe. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, maybe you squat a little deeper. And stand up back to the top. Now we'll rotate back to that high crescent lunge, cartwheel arms down to the mat, and go through a flow. We'll meet at the top. All right, forward bend for our last flow round. Right leg back into a low lunge. So drop your knee here. Your left knee should be above your right, or your left knee should be above your left ankle. Untuck your toes in this low lunge. And then bring your hips back as you straighten your left leg for a half split. So you should feel this all in the back of your left leg. You might want to move your heel forward a little bit if you need a deeper stretch. Keep your spine straight. Again, the yoga block might be helpful here for your hands. Remember to breathe. Maybe you can fold a little deeper with each breath. On your next exhale, bring your hips forward. Lean back into that low lunge, but bring your left hand inside your left foot for a lizard. So you should feel this in your hip and your glute, your outer left leg. Your hands should be even with your foot, and your knee should, don't let your knee come past your ankle. You can stay here if this is comfortable. If you want a little bit more, you can tuck your toes and raise your back leg. If you want a little more and it's available to you, you can drop down to your forearms. That is not available to me. Remember to breathe. Drop your back knee if you raised it. Bring your foot back in, your left hand onto the outside, and we'll bring that left leg back and go through a flow. We will meet at the top. All right, last side. Forward bend. Left leg back to a low lunge. Untuck your toes. Straighten your right leg, flexing that front foot. Remember to breathe. All right, transition forward, bring that right foot to the edge of the mat, right hand inside the foot for the lizard on this side. Again, you should be feeling this in your hip, your butt, all the outside parts of your leg, maybe the inside too. If this is comfortable, stay here. If you want to raise your back knee, you can also do that. Remember to breathe. Drop your back knee if you raised it. Move that foot back into the center. And our final flow. We will meet at the top. All right, so now gracefully transition down to the ground, whatever way you'd like to do that, and rock back, rolling your spine a couple of times. All right, settle on your back with your feet on the ground. We're going to do a figure 4 stretch. So right ankle on top of left thigh. Maybe you stay here. If you want a little bit more, lift up that left leg, reach through, grab the back of your left thigh and pull towards you, maybe using your right elbow to push your right leg away from you. Keep that left foot engaged. And remember to breathe. Exhale your foot down if you raised it and switch sides. Left ankle onto right thigh. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you go deeper. Bring your feet back to the ground. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Extend your left leg and bring your right knee in. Give your right knee a big hug and bring your right knee across your body for a twist. Maybe you also extend your right arm behind you, and your gaze follows. Gently come back to center and switch legs. Bring your right knee into your chest. Extend your right leg. Hug your left knee and bring it across your body to the right side. Maybe your left arm extends behind you. Your gaze follows. Slowly and gently come back to center. Bring your right knee in to meet your left. Give both knees a big hug. And then gently rock along your spine again, back up to a comfortable seat. And we're going to do 2 stress breaths together to close. So maybe you close your eyes. Inhale. Chin to chest. Slowly exhale, head back to center. Inhale. Chin to chest. And slowly back up. One more actually. Inhale. Chin to chest. Slowly exhale, raise your head back up. Open your eyes if you close them. Thanks so much. We're done.